And welcome back to College Football Tradition, History of American College Football. My name is Brian Partika, joined alongside my bro host, my co-host, Jacob Vanderford. We're here to talk about the year of the Tiger. It's 1878, and it was all Princeton. An already established juggernaut, Princeton took their college football dominance to a new level in 1878. They played 6 games in the month of November.
That's insane.
6 games in one month. They were under the team captainship of Bland Ballard. He was a phenomenal player for Princeton. What a name. Bland Ballard.
Was this his freshman season or I haven't heard anything about him until this year?
Yeah, I really don't know much about him outside of him being the captain of the
A
team. So it
god?
says his career history is 1877 to 1879. So he played 3 seasons and I guess won 3 national championships during that time. But his story is pretty bland. There's not much
Okay.
to it.
Yeah.
Um, but we're going to talk about Princeton because they absolutely dominated the 1878 season. They took down Penn twice. They took down Stevens. They took down Rutgers. They took down Harvard, and they closed it out by beating Yale 1-0 in the season finale. They were the first of the sports dynasties, in my opinion. They won a ton of national champions. They have the most claimed national championships in college football's history, but they made no doubt in 1878. Jacob, what are your takeaways from this dominating season from the Tigers?
I think Princeton was probably just tired of Yale seeing Bulldogs running around and winning, back-to-back national championships. They're like, buckle in. The Tigers are going to take over. As Ed Orgeron once said at LSU, go Tigers. That's, I think, what Bland Ballard was saying most of the time as they were playing these games. 6 games is kind of unheard of. I feel like throughout the history of college football up to this moment, the most amount of games we've seen played are like between 3 and 4, maybe. 6 games is just incredible. Having the stamina to play that many games at this time, the way this game was played, the rules not being fully developed in the way that we know them today. A lot of it was very, rugby based. There was a lot of physicality to it, and not having the technology that we have today as well back then, being able to last a full year, whether there be injuries, things like that. So I think 6 games is pretty commendable for Princeton and beating the teams that they did. I know throughout history, Princeton has played these rivals of Harvard, Penn, Yale multiple times, over 115 times throughout the years, and they play them on an annual basis. And so it's really neat to see the progression of they play them a few times over the course of the past few years, and from here on out, they'll be playing them most of the upcoming seasons. But yeah, beating Yale, who just came off 2 national championships, is insane. Beating them the way that they did and having that undefeated season, you gotta really tip your hat to Princeton here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm really glad that you mentioned their rivalries with Penn, with Harvard, with Yale. That's how they closed out the year was those three games right in a row. And I want to correct myself too. I said all their games were in the month of November. They did have 2 in October, but it was all in the span of around 35, 40-ish days. So this was still a really gauntlet of a season that they put together. And they are still, like you said, playing those rivalry games today. Some of the most played rivalry games in existence exist in the Ivy League. And as we talk about Princeton's national championships, they claim 28. The amount that we
They're like the Yankees of college football.
they are the Yankees of college football. They have 28 claimed national championships. We are going to debate and tweak some of those throughout our time during this
Yeah.
History of American College Football series, but they don't even have half that in Ivy League titles. They don't even have half that in Ivy League titles, which just shows the sheer dominance that they were putting together before conferences were being formed.
Can we share their outfits from this year?
Yes. Yep. Okay.
Or no, is this Brown that I'm looking at on the LinkedIn page?
That is brown on the LinkedIn article, but I have it right
Okay.
here.
I
I
find that
have
to be really interesting. Them wearing like full on ties and like button-up shirts, like let's go put on our Sunday best and tackle some people, like who does that?
I know. This is the Penn team right here. So we showed Yale's team in the last episode if you're watching on Spotify. Yale had those kind of like winter hats with the little ball on top. Then if you look at Penn's team from the 1878 season, you could see it looks like their coach or football director there with the top hat. That is a tall top hat. That is like an
Yes.
abnormally, like unironically tall, tall,
You could fit a
tall.
rabbit in that. I bet he does some magic tricks.
I bet he did some magic back in the day. He probably has a history of magic.
Yeah.
But yeah, we talked about those pants that look like baseball pants, and they all have long sleeve jerseys. They look to be white, and then they also have some hats on. But how would you describe those?
And I don't know. How would you describe those?
I mean, they're not like the winter caps because they don't cover the ears like the Yale's teams.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's more of just like a baseball cap, but a bit sturdier built, I'd say.
Right.
Uh, yeah, you got a little bit more heft to it on the top. Yeah, if you think of just that winter hat with the puffy earmuff sides, it's just without the size of the hat
Yeah.
is the best way to visualize it, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But
that was
anywho, back to football and regularly scheduled program.
back to regularly scheduled program. So I don't have anything else on 1878. Absolute domination, year of the Tiger, Princeton, 6-0 national champion.
Yeah, I really wanted to play the Princeton fight song, the Princeton canon, but we can't do it on the computer for some reason. So just go look up the Princeton canon and play that as you're listening to this episode. That'll really just make the whole experience.
Yeah, yeah, it really puts it all together.
Go Tigers!
Go Tigers. Well, for Jacob Vanderford, I'm Brian Partika. This is a history of American college football, 1878.